Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
So we gave you, as appropriately, because you're an Android expert, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S. This is a 10-inch tablet?
10.5.
Competing with the Nexus 10 and that kind of, in that realm?
Yeah, I mean, possibly competing, you know, well, definitely competing with the likes of like the Apple iPad, because this is not an inexpensive tablet by any stretch. The $500 version of this is $500.
The $500 version is $500?
Sorry.
That's
the Wi-Fi
unique.
only.
Right. Just like the iPad. It's the same price as the iPad.
Yeah, exactly. If you want LTE, this is running on Sprint's LTE network. This is $649.
Okay.
On Sprint. So,
and that's with how much memory? Storage.
And this right here is 16 gigs of storage with a micro SD expandable slot.
So it sounds like they actually tried to hit Apple's price exactly.
That's kind of what they're doing here, and that's absolutely what this is attempting to compete against. For a media device, though, I got to say it's a really great tablet. You just got to be okay with the fact that you're dropping
Android.
A lot of money on a tablet. And these days in the Android tablet space, I think people are more and more used to spending less than that.
What's a Nexus 10? 16 gig Wi-Fi.
Oh, man, what is that? That's got to be around $400.
It's not even, is it even that much?
It might be less than that. I haven't checked in a while, but.
Well, we're due for a new one.
Besides, Nexus 10 is almost yesterday's news, right?
Super annuated, yeah.
So yeah, but this is a really great tablet. I had a lot of fun playing around with this. Just to kind of dive into the specs a little bit, this is a 10.5-inch display, 2560 by 1600 high-res display. It's an AMOLED display, and it's actually the largest AMOLED display on a tablet, largest AMOLED tablet display that there is right now at 287 pixels per inch.
That's one reason it's expensive.
It is, and that's one of the big features of this tablet is just it's vibrant. You know, it's got that AMOLED kind of sharp vibrancy to it, and colors just pop. Everything looks really sharp and colorful. It has 3 gigs of RAM. It's running a 2.3 gigahertz Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 processor. And
just an 800. That's an older processor.
It is a little bit older. The Wi-Fi only version of this is running one of Samsung's Exynos octa-core processors, but they didn't move that into the LTE version.
So this is actually a slower processor than the Galaxy S5 or the Galaxy Note 4.
I guess
that 800.
That would mean so. Yeah. You know, so much of this actually reminded me of the S5, right down to the styling. If you take a look at the back, love it or hate it, it has that dimpled back.
That's not metal, though.
No, it's not metal. It's plastic. But I gotta say, you know,
looks like metal.
Definitely people have pointed out like I'm not very kind to Samsung when it comes to their plastic approach, and I generally apparently am not. This plastic doesn't bother me though. There's something about the feel of it that almost feels
like
kind of like a tight leather, or you know,
it feels good,
like a lighter metal, as you say. So yeah, and it's really comfortable. Like you know, it's a large tablet, so you got to be okay with holding this in your hands and it not getting comfortable or uncomfortable over time. And I feel like it accomplishes that.
Plastic, of course, doesn't bend as readily, or if it does, it rebounds. It's better for the radios because it doesn't get in the way.
But I mean, I've played around with some Samsung plastic devices that felt cheap.
No, I know.
And you know, this is a more expensive tablet. You want it to feel a little bit more premium, and it actually does pretty great. Yeah, I don't know what mode I got into here, but this is the perfect mode for showing off the screen.
That is gorgeous.
So on the back, let's see here, 16 gigs of storage. On the back, you have the 8-megapixel rear-facing camera, and you know it's got some nice little design touches here. Kind of the kind of chrome-like surrounds on some of the items, just all around. I don't know. It elevates the feel of the quality.
It looks pretty classy,
and it also has this kind of like bronze gold-ish color that's pretty pleasing. 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera right there. 7,900 milliamp hour battery. It is Wi-Fi 802.11 AC compatible, so that's good. It does have the biometric fingerprint scanner. I turned it off because it would plague the entire review, but you just kind of swipe your finger
so this
over.
home button is also a fingerprint reader.
Above it, yeah, there's a little kind of biometric.
That's like the S5 and the Note 4.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not crazy about physical home buttons. It's not googly.
Nope. Yeah. I'm not too crazy about it either. It's totally Samsung's thing though, and they're sticking to it.
Yep.
So they're not going anywhere with that. And it is running 4.4.2 KitKat right now. I imagine an upgrade to version L whenever that comes out will probably be a few months out.
Like tomorrow
happens. Yeah, supposedly. We'll see. But yeah, like you say, very similar in design to the S5, almost like a blown up S5, quite literally. It's super thin and light. That's another thing that's really striking about this. And thankfully, for such a large tablet, you want it to be thin and light and comfortable, and it is. It feels durable. It does have the IR blaster on the top.
That's neat. So you can use it as a remote control.
Yeah, and I got to say, after playing with this as my remote control at home, I don't want to go back to my normal remote control.
Yeah.
It is like, it's awesome. Just kind of going into Watch On, which is their
They have their own
service.
TV app.
And, you know, you sync it to your...
you tell it what boxes and
what box and what
forth.
TV you have, so I can control my TV.
Oh, that is
my
nice.
satellite box.
Oh, that is
Instead
sweet.
of going into the guide, you know, on the screen,
that on the
I can
on the
do it right
tablet.
here. Just go into the DVR. Of course, it's not connected to the DVR, but it'll pull up the schedule, and you just kind of scroll through the entire schedule with, you know, nice images, and it just makes the whole TV experience so much greater. Let's
Before
see
you
here.
do pros and cons, I have a couple
Yeah.
of questions. The SD card, what's the top size SD card? it can
128.
take?
128
And
gigs.
is that a flash on the back? What is that second
Yes.
lens?
That
That's
is
the
an
flash.
LED. Yes.
Single
that's the
LED flash.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Camera, you know, again, it's a tablet camera. So,
Saw some of the pictures. It looked okay.
yeah, they're all right. You know, I
When are
believe
they
that's
gonna
with
put-
beauty face, by the way. Does my skin look so beautiful? That's without.
That's the original.
Yeah, see, bad.
I like playing with that.
This is the front back. What is this called? Switch cameras.
Man, the weird Samsung. So it has all of those too.
That's my head on
Interesting.
Tony's body.
That's
A little creepy. You know, a nice, beautiful.
Doesn't look bad.
No, you know, some of the pictures are great. Again, it comes down to good light, great pictures. Bad light, pretty grainy.
I feel like they should start putting. Greg, come on.
Sorry, Greg.
I feel like they should start putting. Oh, that's a good picture.
Yeah.
I feel like they should start putting better cameras in tablets. I almost expect Apple to do that on a Thursday.
Yeah.
To finally acknowledge that people are using tablets to take pictures.
More
you see
and
them
more.
everywhere.
I mean, you know, people like, including myself, people like the Mach.
That's pretty
you know,
crisp.
Why would you use your tablet to
but
take a picture?
people are
But
doing
often
it.
that's what people have with them. People are taking them to games, you know, sports games or whatever, and you know that's just what they have. So
pros and cons.
So let's see here. So, and then by the way, before we get to the pros and cons, just real quick, this is Samsung TouchWiz, of course.
Oh, TouchWiz, yeah.
TouchWiz, and some of the software features are great. It's got a kids mode, which was really cool, and my daughter actually kind of loved that. It has Paper Garden, which is kind of Samsung's way of bringing magazines into the tablet experience and everything, especially with this display.
Boy,
Everything looks
I could
awesome.
see reading a magazine like that. Wow.
There's that. There's Watch On, which I already talked about for TV control.
You can tell it's TouchWiz because it has that lame app icon in the lower right there. That's how you get to the app
and
drawer.
it's endless scrolling.
Yeah.
But ultimately, TouchWiz has come a
get
long
used to
way.
it. Yeah.
You get used to it. If you're in the Samsung ecosystem and you're used to TouchWiz, you're going to find everything you expect to see here and some extra bells and whistles, and that's not a bad thing.
You wouldn't
It's just
want to
different.
use your S5 and then come to a tablet that doesn't use TouchWiz.
Right.
You might as well have everything work the
Yeah,
same.
especially if you like it.
I think it looks good. I do have to say.
No, it's really, really great. So obviously the pros, the screen is a really huge feature here. The design is thin, it's light, and I actually really like a lot of the accents on here. The battery was pretty good. I would say the battery was pretty respectable and, didn't really give me any problems. So I'll go ahead and put that in the pros. And I would say TouchWiz is improving. We'll see if that continues. The con, it's a little bit more expensive. So you got to be, and I don't know if that's a con necessarily, as that is just an entry price point, but this isn't the, something that you can put down as affordable. It's a premium tablet. Some of the materials are going to turn some people off. They feel if they're paying the same price as an iPad, they want to get, premium materials like metal or aluminum casing or whatever. So that might turn somebody off, but I was stretching on that one. And then the camera, again, some good, some bad.
How long's the battery life?
Battery life, what is it rated for? I did not write down its rating, but I did not have a problem with it. I mean, honestly, with tablet,
if you can get
you're
through
using
the
it
day, that's all
absolutely
you
through
need.
the day. That is not a
Charge it
problem.
every night. Okay.
But I don't know exactly. I forgot to
Samsung
write
has
that down.
I counted it, 43 different tablets. It's crazy.
Yeah, they throw everything against the wall.
This is the Galaxy Tab S.
10.5. There is an 8-inch model as well.
$500
for
bottom starting price. Buy,
Wi-Fi
try,
only.
don't buy.
I would say buy. I'd say if what you want is a premium tablet and you want it running Android and you want it for a media device or whatever, watching movies, playing games was really great on this. I'd say if you're cool with dropping that kind of money, then there aren't a whole lot of other tablets to to put it up against.
Watch and wait, because we've heard rumors that Google will do a Nexus 10 or new Nexus 10, possibly
Nexus
by
9,
HTC.
Nexus 9.
And then, or is it the 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Potentially.
And then, potentially. And maybe even tomorrow.
Yep.
We don't know. We know Shamu is probably coming out tomorrow.